Yesterday, a new Fallout game was announced from Bethesda Game Studios' Todd Howard's core team, which was quite surprising. I think it shocked the vast majority of the gaming community. We were not expecting a Fallout game to be revealed or announced anytime soon whatsoever. There's been rumours going around for years at this point that Bethesda Game Studios' next game would be Starfield, and apparently that's not the case because it's Fallout 76. They started teasing it about 2 days ago, which was shocking enough in and of itself, but people still thought perhaps it was a remaster of Fallout 3, or even something along the lines of a new mobile game. But I think it's safe to say that if you'd asked me a week ago if we were going to get a new Fallout game revealed this time next week, I would have said hell no, but clearly I was way off on that one. It's Fallout 76 and it is being developed by Todd Howard's core team. Because if there was going to be a new Fallout game, I would have thought there would be a spin-off in the vein of New Vegas that was developed by Obsidian. But no, this is Todd Howard's core team in conjunction with the new Bethesda Game Studios in Austin, Texas, which was formerly Battlecry Studios. Which obviously makes sense considering they were working on Battlecry, which is a multiplayer focused game, so it makes sense for them to be helping with a new Fallout game, which is apparently a multiplayer game. Because as the trailer was revealed last night, I was watching it live, it looked incredibly exciting. The trailer itself was pretty freaking cool in my opinion, but the trailer did not reveal in any way, shape or form what the game actually was. As a matter of fact, I think it was a pretty safe conclusion to jump to after just simply watching the trailer that it was probably going to be just a brand new single player Fallout game. However, according to Jason Schreier of Kotaku, who is a very reputable source when it comes to leaks in the gaming industry, Fallout 76 is a new kind of Fallout, and it is a kind of game that Bethesda Game Studios has never ever made before, in that it is an online survival RPG. Is what he had to say. When Bethesda announced Fallout 76 with a teaser trailer this morning, promising more information at E3, it was easy to assume the new game would be a traditional single-player role-playing game. But Fallout 76 is in fact an online survival RPG that's heavily inspired by games like DayZ and Rust, according to 3 people familiar with the project. Those people confirmed that Fallout 76 is an experimental new entry in the long-running post-apocalyptic series. When Bethesda first teased the game on Tuesday morning, fans and pundits speculated that it might be a Fallout 3 remaster or a New Vegas style spin-off in a new location, but as Kotaku reported that afternoon, it is in fact something completely new and completely different. Originally prototyped as a multiplayer version of Fallout 4 with the goal of envisioning what an online Fallout game might look like, Fallout 76 has evolved quite a bit over the past few years, those sources said. It will have quests and a story like any other game from Bethesda Game Studios, a developer known for meaty RPGs like Skyrim. It will also feature base building just like 2015's Fallout 4 and other survival based and multiplayer mechanics according to those sources. One source cautioned that the gameplay is rapidly changing like it does in many online service games, but that's the core outline. So it appears that Fallout 76 is going to be an online game, which is a very interesting direction for Bethesda Game Studios to take with Fallout and all of their games in general. They've never done anything like this really ever before. They've always been the kings, in my opinion, of single player open world sandboxes. So them apparently making an online centric game is incredibly interesting. Other than that brief outline that was provided in the article, we really still have no idea what the gameplay will actually consist of. The article continues, the game is named after the series' Vault 76, which has been mentioned in both Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. According to Fallout lore, Vault 76 was meant to open just 20 years after the nuclear war, allowing for a far less civilized setting than previous games. So it appears if it's set in Vault 76, that means this is going to be the furthest back in the timeline that Fallout games have ever gone before. Overall, I think it's safe to say that I am cautiously optimistic about Fallout 76. As is the case with the internet gaming community, a lot of people are jumping to conclusions, already trashing the game, already making ridiculous assumptions about what the gameplay is gonna be like. But the fact of the matter is, this is all just rumour and speculation at this point, so still do take all of it with a grain of salt, even though it is coming from a reputable source. For all we know, it could turn out to still be a single player RPG, even though I highly doubt that. Wait till we actually see some gameplay, wait until E3, until people actually start judging the game itself. But in regards to what what my honest thoughts are on Fallout 76 as an online game and what that could possibly be and look like. I'm definitely not super hyped about it necessarily, because even though I really enjoyed Fallout 4, I've never played the other Fallout games, and Fallout as a whole doesn't resonate with me as much as Elder Scrolls does, and it doesn't excite me as much as the potential of the rumoured Starfield did, which could very well still be real. People shouldn't be discrediting Starfield now, because I've still got a feeling that Starfield is real. Whether it's a BGS game or some mobile game or something else entirely, Starfield is 100% something. But I'm not super excited about this because I'm just not a huge diehard Fallout fan. And obviously, the idea of BGS doing an online survival game is kind of strange. It's not what we're used to from them, so we've really got no idea how well they'll be able to execute that. I'm also not a big fan personally at all of multiplayer games or games as a service. The new trend we've been seeing lately in gaming as a whole has been these games as a service like Destiny and The Division, and I just do not like those kinds of games whatsoever. They are not the gaming experiences I personally look for at all. So what concerns me the most is that if Fallout 76 ends up becoming a sort of game like that, that will personally disappoint me. That's not to say I won't give it a go or play it. I'm definitely keeping an open mind at this point, as should you. But if it does become a game in that vein, that will disappoint me for sure. However, if it turns out to be a regular in style BGS game in the sense that it's got an open world, it keeps the core RPG mechanics we love from Bethesda Game Studios, it keeps the very well crafted open world, the incredible locations we love. Because as the article did mention, this game apparently will still have side quests, still have a story as we're used to from Bethesda Game Studios, so in that sense it is still sticking with that formula that we love. So if this game ends up being like that, it ends up being a traditional BGS game in that sense, but with added online and potentially co-op mechanics, that is what excites me about the potential of Fallout 76. If it is a game that's similar to a traditional Fallout with side quests and open world, with added online functionality such as 4 to 5 player co-op, and it can still hopefully be played single player, that would be the ideal scenario for me. I would be very excited about that, because at that point it would essentially be, at least in my mind, a brand new regular Fallout entry, just with co-op and perhaps some other online functionality. That would be awesome. But with that being said, the article did mention that this is very much an experimental title for Bethesda Game Studios. Having it be a regular Fallout game, a traditional Fallout game, and just adding co-op multiplayer. Sure, that would be a very big feature to add, but I wouldn't necessarily call that a huge experimental step for the series. So the fact that it is apparently an experimental game makes me think that it's not quite going to be that simple, and there are going to be a lot of other games as a service style mechanics in the game, which hopefully are implemented well enough for me to enjoy. So, Fallout 76, I'm excited, the trailer looked cool, I'm cautiously optimistic about this game's potential, but as always with these things, do not overreact, do not jump to conclusions. I'm very much looking forward to tuning into Bethesda's E3 conference and finding out exactly what Fallout 76 is all about. This has been SirCazz, farewell.